You are meeting your new boyfriend or girlfriend's parents at their house for dinner for the first time. Your new BF or GF leaves to go to the bathroom. What do you say to their parents to create a maximum level of awkwardness for the rest of the evening before they come back from bathroom? True story, actually his father asked me which school I had gone to in town. Told him which one, but that I had flown back to Seattle to graduate as the school systems in Las Vegas were horrific. Turns out he was the superintendent. What happened after? Lots of silence. I would say there's nothing to be ashamed of or awkward there. Naturally, there was no way for you to know, and if the schools are legitimately shit, the superintendent absolutely deserves to hear about it. You say, I have to go too, and get up and follow them into the bathroom. You guys wanna join? Or you can just watch if joining is too weird for you. The good all-family movie night, but live. Since your hands are free, mind recording us? Don't tell her, but I'm breaking up with her tomorrow. Unless she steps up her BJ game. I really don't know how she could be so bad at it. You'd think a lack of gag reflex would run in the family, right, while winking at mom. Alternatively, go to high-five dad. At this point you might as well just slap him in the face. Over-the-top version. You got a condom for me by any chance? I wanna dip one last time before I end it tomorrow. To make matters worse, you have a one-night stand with her at her parents' house before breaking up with her. Making sure they hear her moans loud and clear. You steal her phone and text them you up. Right when things are getting started. Followed by I'm just gonna make a run to the store, my BFs with my bestie Karen. Ask the mom, so I guess it is true that pregnant women pee more often. And just continue eating. If they ask about if your girlfriend is pregnant, just say that's something you should talk to her about. Oh shit, you killed it. This is the best answer. It's clever and subtle while having a big impact. Edit. For everyone who keeps saying that this isn't subtle, it's much more subtle than the other comments on this thread. It's not subtle itself, but when compared to usually I help her wipe my point becomes much more clear. That has all the subtlety of a nuclear missile, LOL. Just maintain eye contact. Just walk out of the house. Walk out of the house while maintaining eye contact. And rubbing your own nipples. While licking your own lips. While doing the helicopter dick. So do you guys like to watch or just listen through the wall? Stream it. What year is this, 1980? Power move right there. So would you guys like to watch or just listen through the wall? Do you guys is a deeper dick because it implies that this is just part of their character and something consistently done getting off by creeping on their child's sex life? Would you guys like to? Only opens the possibility of their character tarnished by their incestuous deviancy rather than asserting it like the above version. This actually happened to me. I was sitting in a room with her mother, sister and a couple of cousins. I was meeting them all for the first time. Her sister looks over at me and asks, what do you do for fun? I casually glanced over towards the bathroom and said Heather. The sisters and cousins erupted in laughter. If the look I got from her mother could kill, I would have been a corpse right then and there. Edit. Yes, the girlfriend's name was Heather, not the mom. Thank you all for the upvotes, gold and silver. My first ever. Thank you. Edit. Yes, I am still alive. H and I live together, and we have for a couple years. Spent a week out with her and her mom and we're good. The story is legend in the family now. Seems like you made it out alive. Congrats, this is a noteworthy achievement. Plot twist. Heather was one of the sisters. That's the 7th time today. After making a note in a small book from your pocket. Maybe reveal one of those clicking thingies for counting. Click, and that's the 99th time since we met. If asked, express how excited you are about the next one. And then yell out, don't flush that. While sprinting towards the bathroom. Wish I saw this post sooner, it reminded me of this one time I was at the gym. This older man, in super good shape, brought his daughter's boyfriend to work out with him. A bonding experience, I guess. This dude had shaggy long hair wearing some band muscle shirt. Your typical teenage dirtbag. They're having a convo and he just blurts out, "You like when I make out and eat your daughter's hot face?" It was as if he was bragging about it but didn't realize at first. That's her fucking dad. Long awkward pause and I think they left after. At least he said face. This is the comment that pushed my comment karma past 100k after 10 years. The face of the ass. Cheeks are cheeks. I've done this. When my girlfriend, now wife, went to the bathroom, I said to her parents, I don't know who taught her how to drive, but she can't drive worth a flip. Her dad looked down at his plate and said, I taught her how to drive. Her mom lost it and laughed her ass off until my girlfriend got back. Oh no, I'm just imagining the dad sulking and being so sad because you said that now. Oh, I feel bad for him. Same, he probably did his best. Well, in my real life case study, the dad said, the chicken is dry, isn't it? About the mom's very dry chicken, and I said, I like dry chicken. Somehow finding a way to insult both of them. First girlfriend, many years ago, I'm so glad you choose to support your daughter as a reptilian overlord. Ooh, you fell for it. Dad obviously planned that one and you fell right in. What are you supposed to answer in situations like this? Your daughter prefers to be bottom seat when we're both making number 2, and she loves when I sit facing her so she can sniff my chest hair. She's really into pheromones and apparently, I smell just like you, big guy. Proceeds to give finger guns towards the father. She loves to call me daddy, and I think it's absolutely adorable. She reminds me so much of my daughter who I lost custody of. Before you ask any questions, I was acquitted. I have no idea how she supports my weight for that long. You two have made one strong woman, and even though it's only been 2 weeks, I very much look forward to breeding her. BTW, has she told you how much money she's making selling her soiled panties on Craigslist? One guy actually makes a tea out of the period ones. Some people are just sick. First time I ate at my now MIL and partner's step FIL's house, I copped some IBS from the lamb I ate. I will have that from lamb every now and then. Once every few months or so. Anyway, so I'm stuck on their shitter, whilst my FIL cracks jokes at my expense most of the time I'm in there. She's still shitting? What's wrong with her? Mother's cooking always does that to people. Thankfully, I'm fairly chill about bodily functions, and after about 30 minutes of sitting in pain, I emerged and essentially apologized for my absence and moved on. I bet my partner was horrified though, since his stepfather is a gigantic flog. Edit. I'm so proud of the fact my post about getting explosive shits at my in-laws got me my highest ever upvotes. I'm telling my sons about this one day. LOL, do you like lamb that much that you'll eat it every few months, even though you know you'll get IBS from it? Alright, while she's busy in there, you guys wanna ditch? I know a good bar down the road. I feel like my parents would laugh at this. And also go to the bar down the road. Mom, Dad, I'm breaking up with you. This is actually hilarious and would be a funny joke. Honestly gonna keep this in the pocket. Then post your bar crawl all over social media. This is the part that made me laugh. Make an event for the bar crawl you're doing with their parents. Post photos of all the bars. Make it so legendary that the bar hangs your photos over the counter. Wait for it. Then make a pie chart of all your favorite bars. Point at the dog while taking a bite of meat and remark how happy you are that they use free-range animals in their cooking. That's just funny. I would be stoked if one of my kids' SOs said that at dinner. It's risky, but if it lands right, that's a beautiful icebreaker. Yeah, about 1/3 of these would land right in half of households. I would never have been brave enough to try, but I guarantee my FIL would have appreciated this one. At least he would have been happy to know I could talk. Your daughter is so sexy. I can see where she gets it from. Eyebrow lift. So long as you look at the father. Make things as weird as possible. Take a picture, then gaze at it longingly before smiling and shaking your head. This will be great later on. This is going in the other folder. This is going on the other frig. Whose dick do I gotta suck around here to get more gravy on these potatoes? What are potatoes? Tastes very strange. This is one of those phrases that will pop itself into my head every so often and just interrupt whatever I was doing. Was the thing you were doing eating potatoes? Well, my current girlfriend's dad asked me when we first met what kind of jobs there were in the town I grew up in, and I said fast food, lumber mill and a call center, but if you don't like those you can do what most families do, make some meth and sell your kids for drugs. And I'm somehow still dating her and living 5 hours away from my hometown, 8 blocks away from her parents. LOL. Edit. To answer the where I'm from question, it's West Virginia. Some of you guys got it. Edit. The sequel. Thanks for the silver. I need to know what the father's facial expression was. Man, people in this thread really think parents have no sense of humor at all. It's because many people on Reddit are still young, and their parents are still authority figures rather than people. Okay, she's gone, but I don't have much time. I'm Agent Random, name of the FBI. We believe your neighbor has stolen biological weapons from a research lab and state next door. Now this last part of very important. I need you to hi honey. Welcome back. Then never give them the chance to get you alone for the rest of the night. What if they take too long? Then you have to keep the phrase going. Gotta get them improvisational skills going. Do your homework in time, how long your SO usually takes in the bathroom, factor in travel distance between dining room and bathroom, etc. I know we have only been dating for 2 weeks, but I love your daughter, and I wanted to ask for your permission to marry her and start a family immediately. Oh, and if you could keep my plan a secret so I can surprise her with the ring after dessert, that would be great. Then pretend to get a phone call and leave immediately. Are we talking getting a friend to ring and pretend there's an emergency, or making ringing sounds with your mouth, picking up your phone and pretending to have a conversation with somebody, then leaving without a word? When I met my girlfriend's overprotective mother for the first time, after about 20 minutes she went into family gossip about one of her nieces being sent to the hospital because of being beaten by her boyfriend. Mother looks at me and says, if you ever lay a finger on my daughter, I will kill you. Death threats, obviously, make the room go dead silent, and everyone stares at me for my reaction, so I try to bring some levity back into the conversation. I slap the back of my hand into the other one, miming backhanding someone. Hey, it's your fault if you didn't raise your daughter to listen. It was several minutes before she could speak, and I've never seen anyone get so red. I stand by the joke, though, it was damn funny. It's a fantastic joke. It serves the mom right for saying such an awful thing to you. It comes off poorly in text, she wasn't that bad. Just really defensive of her children. I was in a poly relationship a while back and got to experience this friendship when her other partner met the parents. Apparently he was super into 9/11's conspiracies, and since he was so sick of hearing it, he would never bring it up to her. Fortunately for him, but unfortunately for her, as soon as she went to the bathroom, the guy launched into a rant that had been penned up for weeks about inside job, missing airplane debris, the goat et al. She described the scene when she came back as dead silence with both her folks' jaws firmly planted on the floor. When I met them a few months later, they couldn't stop laughing about it. The goat? Bush was reading a story to some kindergartners when the planes hit, called My Pet Goat. Another real story. I was having my first dinner with my now mother-in-law. She was talking about someone I really don't remember now, and because of something that person she was talking about did, she said such people should be punished hard so that no one would do anything like that, was something criminal as I recall. Then she and I started a mini brainstorm about how to make an adequate punishment on the matter, and I said we should put him or her in guillotine. But when you say that in Turkish guillotine koymak, it can be misinterpreted as gachun koymak, which means to fuck someone hard in the ass, was what she thought I proposed for the person we were talking about. The fun part was that I was aware of the situation and misunderstanding, but couldn't fix it, and at this point, married for 5 years now, I am too afraid to do so. Kinda super awkward for me. I had to go to the bathroom too. But since I was super nervous to say anything, I was so relieved just before we were leaving when he said mind if we use the bathroom before we leave. What made it kinda awkward for me was I really needed a number 2, but at the same time I had to pee. But his dad has OCD and has this rule that when people use the bathroom he prefers the door to be open, like thankfully not wide open. I let my partner go first while I was sat downstairs to check for sound, and of course I could hear him peeing as clear as ever, so I went next. I thought just pee and hold in the shit until we get back to his place. Well, I had to pee so carefully. But when we left things were even worse. Since taxi offices were busy, we stood outside a petrol station for about 2 hours freezing cold and me dying to take a shit. Luckily the people working inside let me wait inside to stay warm as they were closing, but offered to help them tidy the shop since I too work at a petrol station myself. The girls were friendly, and as soon as I got back to my partner's place I legged it to the toilet. So maybe not the most awkward thing, but pretty awkward thing I've said personally. I'm bi and the girl I was dating knew that and was fine with it. I didn't know her parents were super anti-gay religious. She got up to use the restroom. While she was gone, her parents asked if I had ever been to Ireland because they were planning a trip there. I said, oh yeah, my ex-boyfriend and I went there last summer and we loved it. This led to them trying to be polite at first and then trying to subtly let their daughter know that I'm a gay, them refusing to touch any dish that I touched, and them ending the evening right before we got to dessert. I didn't date the daughter for too much longer after that, but definitely would have been smart of her to tell her bisexual boyfriend not to say anything related to that around her super homophobic parents. True story here. My sister, 16 at the time, started dating this guy, Matt, 18, who had kind of a bad reputation with girls and was kind of a douche, which my family all knew about, but my sister was set on dating him anyway. The first time he meets my dad, he walks inside to our front room, my sister greets him and says she'll be ready to go in a second, she just has to use the facilities. Matt stands there sort of looking at my dad and I. We have really nothing to say to him, and I think he kind of senses that. The silence must have gotten to him and he looks at us and says, wow, it's so quiet in here I can hear sister peeing. I guess he may have been trying to be funny or cut the tension, but my dad and I just glanced at each other and didn't say a thing. We both couldn't believe what he'd said. My sister came down and luckily they left right away, but we never let her forget what a lame guy he was after that. Luckily they didn't date for long. Haha. When my mom was in her 20s, she married a guy she barely knew, lived with him for a year and a half, then divorced him. The whole time, her parents were angry at her for rushing into it and making such a huge mistake, etc. Anyways, shortly after that divorce, she meets my dad, and after knowing him for 6 months and dating him for 2, they got engaged. My mom brings him to meet her parents, and they discuss how they're going to keep the engagement secret so her parents don't think she's rushed into things again. They sit down before dinner, my dad gets up to use the bathroom after 10 minutes, my mom panics and tells her parents she's getting married. So probably that. As my brother found out, words can make it awkward, but silent actions first do better. My brother is a joking kinder guy and was meeting his girlfriend's parents for dinner at their house. During dinner his GF got up to use the restroom. As she passed him he turned around to watch her walk away. A solid 15 seconds later he turns back around and mumbles fuck ya, then just sat there without saying a word. He said it was the craziest thing he's ever done to himself, but it was funny, so he regrets nothing.
Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Tell me what you dislike or love about this video, so please comment below and hit the bell icon so you're notified anytime a new video is released. This is a WeCrow Media production.